Okay, good morning. How's everybody doing? If you're new here, my name is Gal. I'm a hairstylist. I work in a curly hair salon. And I had to do my hair yesterday, as you might be able to tell. So we're not going through a full hair routine today, but I recently asked you what the biggest challenges are that you have with diffusing your hair. So while I do a quick little refresh, I'm gonna go through what those challenges are and we're gonna talk about them. So I styled my hair this week with the Lanza Curls line. I was trying out some new products. So I used the Curl Therapy leave-in conditioner. I used about 5 pumps of that. Then I used the Curl Flex memory gel. I used maybe like a nickel size amount of this gel, and then I used the mousse. Now I didn't use enough of this mousse because this is where most of like the hold and volume comes from, so you should have used a little bit more of that, because when I finished, I'm still getting used to these products. So when I finished styling my hair, I didn't get enough hold, but I did have a lot of volume. But yeah, there just wasn't enough product in my hair. So I did scrunch in on dry hair, about 4 pumps of I Create Definition on top, on dry hair, literally. And this is my day 2 hair now. I just took off my bonnet. I let it settle. So it's now been settling for 30 minutes because I took too long to eat my breakfast, and now I'm late starting my live. So anyways, I haven't even shaken it out yet. I'm really bringing you with me. So interestingly, my biggest struggle is long-lasting hold while maintaining volume. Yeah, so that's an interesting question. How do you get lasting hold while maintaining volume? Number one, you need to make sure you're choosing, well, depending on your hair, but that probably is describing somebody who needs light products with strong hold. So you probably need products that are very lightweight in every step, probably. So you really need to be looking at the products that you're choosing, I would say. And sometimes, like, yes, you probably need strong hold, but sometimes simply by choosing lighter products, you can choose a less strong hold product. Because if your product is too heavy, I don't care how strong hold it is, if the product is too heavy for your hair, it's not going to be strong hold on your hair. Show us your bonnet. I have a million bonnets, guys. The bonnet I used last night. Sometimes I use a silk scarf. This is the bonnet. Hi, Marilyn. This is the bonnet that I used last night. It has a tie enclosure. I have been gravitating towards smaller bonnets lately because I have shorter hair. If you have long hair, you're gonna need a bigger bonnet. Otherwise your hair is gonna get really flattened. When my hair was longer, this bonnet was a bit small for my hair. Okay. Ooh, my hair is so soft. Okay, so I do love these Lanza products for how much volume my hair gets really, really easily. But yeah, definitely a little bit less definition, although I do have the definition today because I also used the I Create Definition. Woo! I don't know. Do we need to, I don't really think I need to refresh my hair today, except, Marilyn, if you're in this live, I think I need to let you take some of the length off. Right here. What do you think? I've been struggling with it a little bit. Ooh, Megan! Are you coming to see me or hairstylist near you. Sorry, TikTok, if I'm having technical issues. I keep getting a notification. So anyways, guys, if you've ever used the I Create definition on dry hair, yeah, a little bit right here and a little bit off my bangs. They're not bad today, but I didn't have enough. Oh, Megan, I'm so excited for you to come see me. That's amazing. Is anybody else here scheduled with me? That's so much fun. Guys, if you're interested in booking an appointment, I've got online booking, so you can go to the link in my bio for Curlology and check that out. I think I still have some availability over the next little bit. You can take a look. Can you use I Create definition for a refresh? Only if you don't currently have enough product in your hair. So I wouldn't, just to be very clear, I wouldn't typically recommend using I Create definition on dry hair. It is a very strong casting product. It's very, like my hair can tolerate a lot of product. And this product is gonna leave you a very, very strong cast. So when I use I Create definition, I use like 7, 8 pumps of it. But there are some people out there who are only going to use like 1 pump of I Create definition on their fine hair, okay? If that's you, you are never gonna use this I Create definition, which is a foam. You're never gonna use it as a refreshing product, I wouldn't think. You're never gonna use it on dry hair. It's just too strong of a product. Think of it like vodka, you know, it's very strong. TikTok, are you guys having technical issues? I'm just getting a notification every 10 seconds that there's technical issues. But anyways, so would I use it for a refreshing product? No, usually not. Yesterday, after I finished styling my hair, I was lacking a lot of definition. My hair was very soft. Like I just didn't have enough product in my hair. And I wasn't familiar enough with the products that I was using. I wasn't familiar enough with the products that I was using to be comfortable putting them in my hair because I didn't know if they would solve the problem that I was having. So I scrunched a little bit of I Create definition in because I knew it was lightweight, I wouldn't lose my volume, but it would give me the definition I was looking for. So I did scrunch it into dry hair because my hair can tolerate that. However, most people wouldn't be able to do that. And it gave me exactly what I was looking for. It gave me the definition that I wanted, but it gave me a very strong cast, and I still have a little bit of a cast like down here, like that I needed an oil to get rid of. So I wouldn't usually scrunch this into dry hair. It's not usually a product for refreshing your hair. Let's put it that way. Thanks. Thank you, person on YouTube who, I just missed your name. Where did that come from? Chippy. Thank you. It's so funny. On YouTube, I get like 3 viewers, but I love my 3 viewers on YouTube. I also go live at the same time on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok. But thank you for coming to give me some views. I appreciate you. So going to try this now, haha. That's awesome. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think that's it. I don't think I really need to refresh my hair more than that. So let's get into the questions for diffusing. How does the back look? I'll show you guys the back. I'm good. I'm happy with that. This is salon ready hair. I'm good with that. Okay. Thank you. I love my new hair too. So, okay, if you've been here, is my hair layered? Yes, that's a really good question. So you throw around the term layered a lot. What does layered really mean? Layered means that it's not all cut to be the same length, okay? So you can see that my hair isn't all cut to be the same length, okay? So you can see like these pieces here are shorter than these pieces here. So my hair is cut to be layered, but if you went and just said, I want a layered cut, that can be interpreted to be 17 million different haircuts. So I always recommend you bring an inspo pic of what you're actually looking for, because even if you ask for like, I want really rounded layers, well, even that can look different ways. Asking for rounded layers is a little bit more specific, but there's different lengths of rounded layers. You can ask for long layers. Well, that can look different. You want short layers, that can look different. Not only that, but what you're picturing in your head might not be achievable on you. So if you're asking for round layers and you have fine low density hair, you might not realize what round layers will look like on fine hair. You might just be looking at like Reem, the person who does the Kato cut. You might be looking at her page, looking at all these round layers, be picturing that and not realizing what round layers are gonna look like on fine low density hair. So if you bring in a picture and you show it to your hairstylist will be like, yeah, that is a beautiful picture. I can do that haircut on you. But let me bring up a picture of what it looks like on fine low density hair. Or let me show you by manipulating your hair kind of what this is gonna look like if we do it on you. So that's what's gonna happen in the consultation, and that is going to be more likely to happen if you show them a picture versus if you just say, give me round layers, and your hairstylist is going to assume, hopefully won't assume, but might assume that you guys are talking the same language. You know what I mean? So that's why I always recommend bring pictures, try to bring up pictures to make sure you guys are on the same page. Okay, so if you're new here, you just joined the live, I actually didn't style my hair today. This is my day 2 hair. All I really did was shake it up. Okay, let's go through, this is gonna be kind of a short live today, but let's go through. I asked you in my Instagram stories, what are the biggest diffusing challenges that you're having right now that you want me to address? You probably already know I am a Life in Partner. This is not a sponsored live, but I am doing another Life in Partnership for Mother's Day. Woo! So give that video some love when you see it come out. Curly girl needs help. Yay! You're coming to my salon. I'm so excited. So really I was looking for some content ideas for that video when I was making that video, because I obviously when I'm making partnership videos, I want to still be making content that you guys care about, and I want to be solving problems for you. So you gave me some great ideas for that video, and I'm really excited about that video. Do I use a silk pillowcase or bonnet? Would you recommend it? Yes. Protecting your hair at night is super important for most wavy and curly girls. If you want to get multiple days out of your style, I would say. If you have super silky, fine, low density hair and you've tried a cotton buff, a silk pillowcase, like all of the above, and no matter what, you just can't get multiple days out of your hair, you're still having to restyle. You come in to see me, we have a chat, and you're like, nah. You're just somebody who's just gonna still have to scrunch foam into your hair or like kind of restyle anyways. Maybe you're somebody that we're just gonna decide, it's not a big deal, you can go without restyling, but without protecting your hair overnight. But here's the thing, sleeping on silk or satin overnight is going to take less moisture from your hair, it's gonna reduce breakage, it is going to, oh my gosh, I haven't had my coffee yet this morning, so I'm not even gonna be able to think of the full list. It reduces friction, so it's gonna reduce frizz in your hair. It's better for your hair overall. So whether it's you sleep on a pillowcase that's silk or satin, whether it's you sleep with a bonnet or a silk scarf, whatever you choose to do, it's just better for your hair. It's gonna help you get better longevity out of your style. It's also just better for your hair and the health of your hair. Where did you get your bonnet? I just have been learning about a great brand called Silky London that seems to have really great bonnets that I've been trying. I often sleep with silk scarves. You can thrift really great silk scarves. You just get like square silk scarves. Lily Silk has some nice bonnets. Yeah, there's so many great ones. Okay, so how to diffuse your hair. If you get, and these are the questions, so I asked you what are the biggest challenges you're having while you're diffusing your hair, and I got about 10 questions, so I'm gonna go through those. If you get wonky curls when you diffuse your hair, that was the first one. My hair always gets like wonky curls. So this is a kind of like, I'm starting with a hard one right off the bat. I would say this is going to be different. Like, I find this can sometimes happen when you start pixie diffusing right away. Okay, before I get into this whole description, I'm going to define two terms. Okay, hover diffusing is when you literally hover the diffuser around your head, and pixie diffusing is when you lower the hair into the mouth of the diffuser and you like cup it. This is pixie diffusing, hover diffusing. I find for some hair types, not all hair types, but for some hair types, especially some looser curl patterns, if you start pixie diffusing too soon or too late, okay? So just like you haven't quite figured out the perfect cocktail, you'll end up with wonky curls. So that's one thing that can cause wonky curls. Starting pixie diffusing too soon or too late. So try changing the amount of time that you hover diffuse for. With my hair needs to have time to like settle into its natural curl pattern, okay? So in order to let it settle into its natural curl pattern, I will brush it while it's soaking wet with a diamond brush or a regular brush, okay? And then just scrunch it and then leave it alone, either let it air dry for a little bit or hover diffuse it. And then after a little while, and once I've seen the natural curl pattern start to emerge, then I will start pixie diffusing, okay? But if I start diffusing before I've seen that like curl, like before I can see those ringlets or before I can see that natural curl pattern, like on its own, if I've just gotten out of the shower and my hair is soaking wet, and it hasn't, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like if I go straight into pixie diffusing, I'll end up with wonky curls. On the other hand, if I have diffused, not with my hair so much, but with some curl patterns that are a little bit looser, if you hover diffuse too long, again, you're going until the hair is like a little too crispy and has too strong a cast. You need to start pixie diffusing sooner. You need to start pixie diffusing when the hair is like only 30% dry. Otherwise, again, you're gonna get those wonky curls. So it's part of it is like the amount of time that you hover and pixie diffuse each of them. One of the other things that I have found helpful is the rake and shake method. It can be very, very helpful at getting past that like wonky curl. I'm not gonna get into that too much, but I have lots of tutorials on my page about the rake and shake method, and it's fabulous. The back. How do you get the back? How do you diffuse the back? What do you do with the back? The first thing is there's nothing you can magically do with diffusing your hair to fix the back if the back is already stringy, okay? Guys, diffusing sets, it doesn't fix. Let me be very clear about that. It sets your hair into place. It is going to cement what you have already done. You need to set the stage, you need to make the bed before you get into it, okay? So, if when you start diffusing, grab a mirror, look behind you. If things are already looking stringy and wet frizz, anything like that, before you start diffusing, diffusing is gonna make it worse. Do you think the cool shot first helps? No, I don't. I think cool last might help on dry hair, but not first. You can use the cool setting on your diffuser to bring it back to room temperature once your hair is 100% dry. That can help prevent it from falling. Have you ever noticed you lose volume after you finish diffusing your hair? Use the cool shot to finish the diffusing process once it's 100% dry, and that will help prevent some of that like volume loss. You don't need to start the diffusing process on cool, in my opinion, personally. Okay, the back. If you're struggling with the back, rake and shake the back. That's my simple tip for you. Or at least use a Deadman brush, and on soaking wet hair, just brush through in sections of the back so that everything's falling nice and smoothly at the back of your head before you start diffusing. And then hover, unless your hair dries very, very quickly, then you might need to go straight into pixie diffusing. But with that exception, for the rest of us whose hair takes 20 to 30 to 40 minutes to diffuse, hover diffuse first, your whole head, and then switch to pixie diffusing. And that should allow things to set. I like to hover diffuse for a few minutes upright, and then I might hover diffuse to one side, to the other side, and then I switch to pixie diffusing. And when I pixie diffuse upside down. So that's my tips about the back. When you are diffusing, don't forget the back. So many people do, and this is how I do the back. Just like that. And that's how you do the back. So those are my tips about the back. Temperature of the diffuser, when I am hover diffusing, if I'm in a rush, I will crank the heat up to high heat. I do use heat protection, if I'm in a rush, I will hover diffuse on high heat. It's not touching your hair. By the time the heat actually reaches your head, it's not going to be high anymore. You can also control it by being further or closer to your head. Depends, is your hair already heat damaged? Don't do that. Put it on medium heat. Use your own judgment on that. If not, use medium heat when you're hover diffusing. When you're pixie diffusing, you have two options. If you've got something like the Life-In, you can use the automatic cold and hot cycling mode for pixie diffusing, great way to reduce heat damage. Or you can use a medium heat setting, which is like essentially the lowest heat setting without going to cold. I don't personally think it's necessary to diffuse on a cold setting. If you're using a good quality diffuser, you are using the heat to diffuse your hair. A good quality diffuser should have minimal airflow coming through the cup. There should not be very much airflow there. So if you're using cold air to diffuse your hair, it's going to take you an hour or more. So if I tell you to diffuse your hair with cold air, you're going to stop diffusing your hair. And I have so many clients who come in and they're like, I don't want to diffuse my hair, it takes too long. And then when we actually get into it, they're like, oh, I can use heat? And I'm like, yes, I'm going to tell you that you can use a low heat setting. And they're like, oh, well, okay, fine, I'll diffuse my hair. And I'm like, okay. See, this is why I tell you you're allowed to use heat. So, because people give up if I tell them that they can only diffuse their hair on cold. They stop diffusing their hair. So, I don't know. That's my hot take on that. You're allowed to use heat. Using indirect heat, like a diffuser, is not the same level of damage that you're causing your hair as a flat iron or a curling iron. Is it possible to cause heat damage with a diffuser? Yes, of course it is. Is it the same type of direct heat as a flat iron or a curling iron? Absolutely not. It is not hot metal pressed to your head. But use your good judgment, use heat protection, you know, be smart. What products would you recommend? I believe I'm 3A with product. There's no way I would need to touch your hair, I would need to feel your hair, I would need to do a consultation. I would love to help you, but I would need way more information. Is it better to use low airflow compared to full hair airflow? I use full airflow. It depends on the quality of your diffuser. If your diffuser's not great and is blowing your hair all over the place and causing frizz, then I would reduce the airflow. I found that the Dyson dryer was drying out my hair. Do you have any advice for this? I don't want to spend money on another dryer. Okay, so if it's drying out your hair, I'm guessing what you meant by that is that your hair is starting to dry more quickly. Is that what you're saying? The Dyson is a very good quality blow dryer. So let's take a step back from what's happening here. The Dyson blow dryer itself is probably not the problem. And what I mean by that is it's an ecosystem. There's the products you're using, there's the blow dryer, there's how you're using the blow dryer, there's the frequency of how often you're using the blow dryer. Like, there's a lot of things that's happening. So guys, for perspective, what someone has just said is the Dyson blow dryer was drying out my hair. Do you have any advice for this? I don't want to spend money on another blow dryer. I use the Extava Black Orchid diffuser with it on low heat. The Dyson dryer with the Extava Black Orchid. The Dyson. Okay, so that's a bit confusing to me because I don't know if it's an old Dyson, but the Dyson and the Extava would not mix. I have the Extava Black Orchid and I have a Dyson and they would not connect. So I don't know what you mean by that. The Dyson looks like this. This is not a Dyson, but the Dyson looks like this. Is it a very old Dyson? And then the Black Orchid is a cup, but it has a different attachment. Like, the Dyson comes with its own diffuser. So it does not connect. It comes with a magnetic cup. Anyways, all that to say, if you are using a very, when someone comes in and they complain that their blow dryer is taking them too long to blow dry their hair, or their hair gets really frizzy because their hair is blowing all over the place, stuff like that, to me, that's good reason to buy a new blow dryer. But if it's drying out your hair, to me, that's indicating you are getting a little bit of heat damage. That's not necessarily a reason to go buy a new blow dryer, okay? It is a reason to maybe turn down the heat, or to hover diffuse longer and pixie diffuse a little bit less time when you're diffusing your hair, or buy a better quality heat protection. Not only that, you might benefit from, if you're not already doing these things, you might benefit from clarifying your hair. I would recommend Malibu C, Undugu, or Hard Water Wellness, depending on whether or not you have hard water where you live. And then doing a deep treatment. You cut the magnet off the straightener attachment and attached it to the Extava. Oh, okay, that makes more sense, I guess. Okay, you were really committed to that process. Okay, so then I've never heard of someone doing that. So then what I would recommend that you do is you want to do some hair masks for your hair. Your hair sounds like, if it's drying out, like it's drying faster, the porosity of your hair is probably changing. You're a curly hair enthusiast. I love it. So you probably need to do some deep treatments. I don't know exactly what I would need to assess your hair, but you probably need some hair masks. Like we need to get on top of it. You probably would benefit from I'm venturing to say something like possibly something like this, the Lanza Healing Color Care Mask, the trauma treatment, or something like the Amica, the Cure, Olaplex 3, which is a little bit different. It's not a hair mask. It's more like a treatment. Amica, the Cure. You need something to start working on the health of your hair if you're not already doing that. And you need to be using a very high quality heat protectant. It sounds like your hair is a little bit more sensitive to heat protection, and just when you're diffusing your hair, the Dyson is very hot, so just make sure you're using the lowest heat setting when you're diffusing your hair. That would be my recommendation. But the Dyson is a very good quality diffuser. I use the Dyson when I'm in the salon. You don't need to go out and buy a new diffuser. Are there products you won't feel in your hair after your hair is dry? Absolutely. I feel a little bit of product in my hair right now only because I put this in when my hair was dry because there wasn't enough product in my hair. But I don't know if there's anybody in here right now who has come to see me in the salon. Actually, sometimes some people can feel product in their hair. But I just posted a video of a woman with long hair, and you can hear her talking in the video. She has long, almost black hair. In the video I asked her, I'm like, can you feel anything in your hair right now? And you can see the look of shock on her face. And she's like, no, I can't feel anything in my hair right now. So you absolutely don't have to feel, if you say, if you come in to see me and you tell me the number one important thing to me is that I don't feel anything in my hair, then we will choose products based on that. You're welcome. To travel from Australia. Oh, that's so funny. What's the best heat protection? I hear some don't help or work. Yeah, I would make sure you're using a good quality one. If it says heat protection up to 450 degrees, it should help or work. A lot of products will have it built in. I know the Lanza products have, all of their styling products have a heat protection built in up to 450 degrees. I sometimes use blowout creams like Inner Sense Serenity Smoothing Cream. And that has it built in to heat protection built in. I sometimes use, I'm trying to think, Amica has the Wizard, which has a silicone-free version if you're someone who avoids silicones, that you can just spray on your hair as a separate product. So you can either get a heat protection that's a separate product, or you can get heat protection that is built into your styling products. Is it possible to use, but I would, for your heat protection, if you're already struggling with some heat damage, get a salon quality heat protection. That would be my tip for you. Is it possible to use one product only? I find my hair gets weighed down so easily with products. So my tip for you would be, multiple products are not what is going to weigh down your hair. It's not. The weight of the product is what is going to weigh down your hair. To answer your question, yes. Is it possible to use one product only? Absolutely. However, even the finest, lowest density hair can use multiple products. It's just that it needs to be the right weight. So like for example, someone with super fine low density hair might be able to use like I'm trying to think, like it depends what, like I'm not saying this is right for you. I haven't seen your hair. It might not be right for you at all. So like seriously, don't go out and buy these products because it might not be right for you. But like I create volume by InnerSense is often good for fine low density hair, and then maybe if they wanted a little extra hold, either I create definition foam or the I create finish hairspray, like, or all three of those, because they're very lightweight products. So you'd be able to stack very lightweight products, and that wouldn't weigh your hair down because they're all very lightweight. None of them are cream based. But if you did have a lot of frizz, you would want to introduce something that was cream based as well, but just something very lightweight that was cream based. Does that make sense? Yeah, I love InnerSense. Okay, other questions that I got about diffusing. How to diffuse if you don't have a good quality diffuser. I thought that was a really good question. First of all, turn down the airflow to the minimum airflow, okay? That's going to make it take longer to diffuse your hair, but it will prevent some of the frizz, okay? If you don't want to do that, first of all, generally the biggest challenges people have when they don't have a good quality blow dryer and diffuser, one is gonna be frizz, and two is just gonna be the amount of time that it takes to diffuse your hair. So the first thing that I would recommend that you do is the rake and shake method, because that's going to help you control frizz a little bit better. Do the rake and shake method on soaking wet hair. Don't forget to use styling products on your hair. 2, micro plop your hair, scrunch out a little bit of water. 3, because you don't have a great diffuser and it's going to take a really long time to diffuse your hair, I might recommend t-shirt plopping your hair. If your hair is super prone to frizz, maybe you've got silver hair, a little bit of sparkle in there, and your hair just like, you look at it funny and it gets silver, this might not be it gets frizzy, this might not be a good option for you. But if you've got really silky hair, it doesn't get frizzy as easily, might be a good option. Try t-shirt plopping your hair for 20 to 30 minutes. Like if you're gonna be at home anyways, go make the kids lunch, whatever, before you start diffusing. I'm particularly recommending this because this isn't the case for someone who does not have a good quality diffuser, and we know that diffuser is gonna take you forever to dry your hair. So it's gonna cut down on your diffusing time a little bit, okay? So then come back, take out that t-shirt cloth, okay? And now we're gonna start diffusing your hair, okay? Now we are going to hover diffuse. This is going to help manage the fact that your diffuser is not great, so the airflow is high. Okay, you got way too much air coming through there. Hover diffuse first. Again, we're trying to create a little bit less frizz. And then once you feel like you have a little bit of a cast, then you can go in and start pixie diffusing. That would be my tips if you don't have a great diffuser. We're going to try and reduce the amount of active diffusing time and do a little bit more hover diffusing. I just realized I have this like band around my head that is just flat at the roots. It's the side of my heads. If I part on either side around my entire head, including the black crown. Do you just mean your curl doesn't go all the way up to the root? That could just be your curl pattern. I don't know. It's hard for me to picture exactly what you're talking about. What brand is this diffuser? This diffuser is the Life-In. It's linked in my bio. This is the one I use at home. I absolutely love it. It's awesome. Yeah, T, I don't really know what you mean. Okay, and then I have a video coming out with more tips for diffusing bangs and face framing, so I'm not going to get into that too much. Tips for accessibility. Definitely like t-shirt plopping is a great one, just to reduce the amount of time that you have to diffuse your hair for. Using root clips can be really helpful. This is what a root clip looks like. I use the XL root clips. 90% of root clips are smaller than this. This is an XL curly girl root clip. You can get them on Amazon. I think they're linked in my bio, but actually I think the link in my bio is out of date, just so you know. T, are you rake and shaking? That's my first question. Are you rake and shaking your head or scrunching upside down and then diffusing upside down? Okay, so if you have accessibility issues, like you just can't do a regular diffusing routine, I would put root clips in to give you more lift at the root, and then that will allow you to hover diffuse upright and just kind of tilt your head like that. You can also buy diffuser stands to hold your diffuser for you, so that, for example, if you're in a wheelchair or anything like that, you can literally have your diffuser held for you, and then you can be sitting in a chair, or if you have to be in your wheelchair, you can literally have it held for you. There are also hood dryers. You can buy a hood dryer that is either on a stand or that is tabletop, which is a great way to either start your diffusing process, or if it's if you have very curly or even coily hair, some people like to sit under a hood dryer for like 80% of the drying process if their hair already naturally is quite curly and lends to volume on its own. Then hood dryers can be a great option, especially if you've got multiple curly people in your family. You can get them on Amazon. You need to spend about $175, I'd say almost $200 now to get a half decent one. I mean, that's really what blow dryers are going for these days as well. So not a crazy investment. But yeah, I wouldn't spend much less than that. Otherwise they're kind of a piece of junk. But yeah, if you can spend $200 on a hood dryer, I've been considering getting one myself. Not so much now that my hair is shorter. Somebody here says camping chairs are great too for back pain. That's a great tip. Also, I used to have really bad migraines. They are a little bit improved now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you guys, but something that I used to do when I was diffusing my hair is literally set my diffuser like that on the ground. Oh, 1 second, I don't think you can all see. There we go. So I would set it like that on the ground, and I would kneel like that when I had like migraines and like same things like neck and back pain, like that. And that would just allow me to kind of like rest while I was drying my hair. Like do. And then the last accessibility issue that I have is lying on the edge of a bed. This is a really good one. You can lie down vertically on the bed and let your hair hang off the edge of the bed to dry your hair. So those are all of my accessibility tips. Oh, and the biggest one, if you are someone who gets headaches or anything like that, wear earplugs or Bluetooth headphones. Earplugs or Bluetooth headphones while you are diffusing. For my sensory friends or people with headaches, it is a total game changer when you are diffusing your hair. Okay, so those are all my tips for that. I've had lots of time to give that one some thought. When to stop hovering. And to start pixie diffusing, I feel like we talked a little bit about this already. It is different for everybody. Some people actually have to pixie diffuse and then hover diffuse. So there is going to be trial and error built in there. I mean, the easiest way to get the magic number on that one is to go in and see a curly stylist, and they're going to help you figure out what the magic formula is for your hair. For my hair, I like to hover diffuse. Actually, it's different now for my hair now that I wear my hair bigger than I used to. And I used to be more before. When my hair was longer, I worried more about definition and frizz. Now I just want my hair bigger, and now I'm just trying to get volume. So if I get frizz, I'm not quite as worried. So it depends what your goals are, but the answer is it's different for everybody. I would experiment with different lengths of time of hover diffusing and pixie diffusing and see how you like the results. Not the answer you want to get, but the answer is it's different for everyone. The way to figure it out is if you at the end of the day, wish you had gotten more curl out of it, then I would hover diffuse less time. If you wish you had gotten less frizz, I would hover diffuse longer. If you wish you had gotten more volume, I would pixie diffuse longer, So hover is going to give you better frizz control. Pixie is going to give you more curl and more volume. Also, not all dryers around the same. If you have a local store that has displays, go test them out. Yeah, that's totally true. I set mine in the sink facing up while diffusing tilted towards me. There's another great accessibility tip. Wrapping if it's wrapping around to the other side of your dryer. I used to have that issue with one of my dryers. I don't have that anymore with the Life In. Honestly, a lot of diffusers these days come with the vent being down at the bottom, which I love. I think it's a much better design. So that's something that you can keep an eye out for when you're buying a diffuser. If you do struggle with your hair getting wrapped around and in the back, I can't remember what I used to do. I think I started holding it like that, but you need to be careful not to cover the vent with your hands because it needs to be able to breathe while you're diffusing your hair. Otherwise, you're going to overheat your machine. But I think I got in the habit of holding it like that so that my hair didn't go into it while I was diffusing, so that it could still vent, but my hair wouldn't catch in it, because when I had really long hair, I had that issue too. Sorry, I need to tuck behind so I can read whenever I have questions coming in on, I think this is TikTok. For 5 seconds, just holding the diffuser for 30 to 40, To save going up and down as much, I've been using hot setting for 5 to 6 seconds, then holding cold down for 5 seconds, then just holding the diffuser in one spot. Yeah, that's called heat cycling. So basically someone's saying to save going up and down, somebody's talking about heat cycling. So I assume you're talking about pixie diffusing. Instead of going like that, they're just doing 5 seconds on hot, and then they go down to a cold setting for 30 seconds, and then they go back up to a hot setting, then they go down to a cold setting. That's heat cycling. I used to do it a lot. I don't do it as much anymore. I just kind of have fallen out of the habit. But yeah, you can absolutely do heat cycling and keep it in one spot. It's another way of diffusing. Yeah. Okay guys, those were the main challenges with diffusing that you guys wrote in about. I hope that you found that helpful. I'm going to post this recording to Instagram. I think they just show up as reels now when I post the lives. And on YouTube it's going to be reposted as well, so you can refer back to it. It does have a name. It's non-automatic heat cycling. The Life has an automatic heat cycling mode, which is very cool. You would probably love it. You can just press and hold. I'll show you how it works. You press and hold, and it automatically cycles cold, medium, and then hot. Cold, medium, hot, and it does it automatically. It's very cool. Yeah, so that's everything. Okay, so thanks for joining. I go live every Wednesday. Usually I go through and do a whole hair routine, but I did it yesterday, so the hair, I woke up like this. I think I'm gonna lose some length because these little pieces have not been curling for me lately. It's getting a little mullety. I don't know what's happening. And yeah. Okay, love you all. Bye.